Oh look, it's that time of year again where Emma uses any and every excuse to wear cat ears on a daily basis. Hi everyone, today I'm doing another chatty kind of get ready with me type video. A little while ago I did one of these where I talked about creativity and how to stay inspired, being a creative person and putting out content on a regular basis, etc. So this video, I guess you could say, is a follow-up to that one, so if you would like to watch that one, I will link it down below. One of the questions that I think I get most often is about having creative confidence. In other words, having the confidence to put what you create out into the world and not second guess yourself. If you're a writer, how do you share your writing on social media or share the poems that you wrote when you've never been published or you don't feel legitimized as a writer? Considering it is such a specific question, I get asked this question a lot. Like, I think every time I put a question thing on Instagram or do a Q&A, there's at least 2 of you asking this very specific question. So I thought that today I would talk a little bit about how I kind of deal with that creative insecurity and how I deal with like the reality that it's scary to put what you create on the internet or even just share it with people that you love. As always, I can only really tell you my personal experience and how it works for me with my personality. I think that a lot of times creativity, what holds you back in being a creative person, is very personal to you. So I think that to be very confident about what you create, you do have to know yourself a little bit. I think creative people have to take their personal insecurities into account. So for example, for me, I'm a perfectionist. So a lot of what holds me back from feeling confident about what I create is usually just when I'm a bit too caught up in my perfectionist ways. So maybe keep that in mind as I am talking about this, that it will probably play out different for everybody. And part of what has helped me as far as getting text messages and part of what has helped me as far as really feeling confident in putting out what I create has been understanding my personality and kind of like knowing my weak spots. So if you kind of create something and you're really proud of it and you were passionate about the project and then you finish it up and it's getting time to share and then all of a sudden you feel insecure and you don't feel like sharing it, maybe just think a little bit more about like the root of why you feel insecure or what it is that's holding you back. Like I said, for me, it is usually perfectionism, and at that point I just have to say, no, I'm not going to be a perfectionist. I'm going to share this thing that I was passionate about. A big part of my feeling excited about sharing things that I have made is turning off that inner critic's voice, not listening too closely to what he has to say. Honestly, I think if there is what I would call like a secret to having creative confidence, I think the biggest part is just loving what you create and making things that truly resonate with you as a person. I know that that might sound like a cliche, like just love what you create, just do it for yourself, but that's not really what I mean. In the early days of my YouTube channel, I realized pretty quickly that I did not like making things for the sole fact that other people were making it or that I knew that it would get views. Being a YouTuber, there are certain things that you just kind of know if you make that video, it'll get a lot of views, and it's very tempting to just like do that stuff, but I realized pretty early on that for me doesn't go well. Those videos I didn't have any fun making. So I decided that I would just kind of make what I loved and see how it went. My skin is not doing that great recently, I've got to say. You probably can't see it on camera, you're all gonna tell me that my skin is flawless, but I promise it's not. So I decided that I would not make videos for any other reason other than that I loved the idea, or I loved making it, or I wanted to make it, or it was something that I was passionate about, or it was something that was meaningful to me. That can be a really hard instinct to follow when those are not always the things that bring the views or bring the followers, at least not right away. But I will say that I've been doing this long enough now that I can say without a doubt, doing what you love and making the things that you're passionate about is what brings creative confidence. The only times that I feel insecure posting videos are when either it means nothing to me and I really just made it for the sake of putting out a video, or if something means a lot to me and it's really personal or it's something new and I haven't done it before, I get nervous putting those kinds of videos out as well. When you're making things that you really love and that you're actually genuinely excited about, that really translates through to the people who are on the other side consuming or watching the video or reading what you wrote. It wasn't this way at first, but now whenever I make a video that I'm really excited about, the response is always equally as positive. So starting to figure out what you love to make and then have a little faith that one, you are unique, and so the things that you're passionate about, only you can make exactly that way. I'm a firm believer in that you should make what you are excited about because that's what makes us all unique, and that is how you kind of stand out as a creative person. And then two, if you are doing that, I do believe that the audience will come, that you'll find the people who appreciate what you're doing and the people who resonate with you and the people who love what you do. They'll find your channel or your Instagram or your book. That's my theory anyways. That is my theory, and that is how it has played out for me in my life so far. I will say though that I think as creative people we have different reasons for why we create. What I mean is like what it is that keeps you going. So for me, that is really you guys. Like I have continued to make videos because I love the idea of connecting with people, and when I meet you guys in real life and you tell me what it means to you, or you put me in your Instagram story and you tell me that I brightened your day or that I calmed your anxiety, that is why I continue to create. And so for me to feel like satisfied in my creative endeavors, I don't need a lot of views or a lot of subscribers or like to be the most successful YouTuber, because honestly, I will keep doing it just because I connect with you guys and that means a lot to me. I kind of went off on a tangent there. What was I trying to say? I think what I was trying to say is that because I know why I create, it's easy for me to put out content having confidence because I know what it is that makes an impact on you guys when I make a video. So if I make a video that's really calming, like one of my daily reflections videos or a vlog, I know that it's going to impact someone's day in a positive way, and that is all that it takes for me to kind of feel successful. And so I can put out my content having confidence that you guys will like it, or one of you will like it, or 5 of you will like it. That being said, that is really scary. I don't want to minimize the fact that being creative means being vulnerable. If you're not comfortable with being vulnerable, I think it'll hold you back a lot with being creative. And I'm saying this not as an outsider because I have an issue with being vulnerable and it has held me back from being creative. It's something that I have really learned recently, and I think I've mentioned this in a couple of these chatty videos. For example, the other day I put out this little vlog that I did of one of my self-care days. And I kind of vlogged what it looks like for me on a day when I need to put some extra effort in as far as my self-care goes, take care of myself to kind of try and like get back in a positive state. I was so nervous to put out that video for lots of reasons. I had a lot of technical issues with that video, which always makes me kind of on edge. Kind of the whole point of that self-care video was to be vulnerable because I was in a vulnerable place. I wasn't in like the most energetic or the most positive of mindsets, and so I wanted to take that and use my creativity to create something that might be helpful to other people because I knew that that would like improve my mental state. I knew going into it that I was going to be a little bit nervous to release it, also because it's just a different type of video, and I feel like you get used to creating certain kinds of videos and then whenever you change it up it's like, oh, now I'm nervous again. Which I think is pretty normal. By the way, I've been using this new eyeshadow palette that I got. The brand is OHII. I'm not sure how you're supposed to say it. It is the Magic Hour palette. Look how pretty this is. Oh my goodness, I've been obsessed with it. In my vlog the other day, I had some darker eyeshadow on and a lot of you guys asked me to do a tutorial. Today I used this color called Stargaze, and that is what is on my eyes right now. But honestly, I'll do the exact same look with lots of different eyeshadow colors, and it has been like my fall go-to. So anyways, I brought that up to say that sometimes creative confidence is actually like not paying too much attention. When I have a video going up that I'm a little bit nervous about, a lot of times I will not read any of the comments for a little while. You guys are so positive that I never have a negative response to something, so at this point I know that it's gonna be okay, and usually if there's actually something wrong with the video, my friend Holly will go watch it within the first 5 minutes and let me know. That self-care video had one of the most positive responses I have ever gotten in a video ever. I was getting Instagram messages and tweets and comments, texts from my friends, like messages from people I haven't talked to in months, saying that it helped them, it reminded them why self-care was important, it was positive, it was encouraging, whatever. That response meant so much more to me because I was nervous about the video in the first place. So maybe another part of having creative confidence is to be okay with letting yourself be vulnerable. The fact is, creating anything opens yourself up to commentary, to criticism. It's just a fact of being a creative person. I just choose to make the positive voices louder than that one random negative person who tells me I look like a boy because my hair is short. I know that those negative criticisms are often so much louder, you can get so many positive responses, and then it's that one negative one that makes an impact, but I just actively choose to not let that be the case, because if I did, then I would never post any videos. All the reasons that I've already said why I make videos, I wouldn't be able to do that because I'd be too nervous about getting that one negative comment. All of those things that I just talked about, I only learned by being a creative person. If your question is like how to start or how to be inspired or anything like that, maybe go watch the video that I did a little bit ago, because I did talk about that kind of thing more in that video. Whatever that one idea is that has occurred to you that for some reason you just feel like you want to make that thing, go make that thing. You have to start somewhere. Like I said, I think everybody has different reasons for why they create or what makes them want to create, as in like what you get from it. And I think to know that and to know whether it is something that is worthwhile and something that you'll keep doing, you have to just kind of start and see how it goes. Don't hold yourself back out of fear, that is for sure. I've gotten questions to make that video as well, so I will probably make another chatty video about living with anxiety or nervousness or fear, but I will say that I don't think fear should ever hold you back from doing something. If you made something and you're passionate about it and you want people to see it, even if you're scared, just post it anyways. That's kind of why I said that thing about not reading the comments or stepping away, because you just have to do it. It's scary, but you just have to do it anyways. And when you do, I think often the response that you get is really positive, and even if it's not, as long as you liked it yourself, I think that that is kind of what matters most anyways. The other thing is, if you view it as a learning experience, you literally cannot fail at anything. Because even if you start a YouTube channel and only do it for 2 months and you make 6 videos, I guarantee you will have learned something, whether it's about yourself or how to edit a video, even if it is just that creativity is kind of scary sometimes. I actually managed to go through all my notes at almost the exact time that I did my makeup. Like, I finished at the exact same time, and I think that that is a really big accomplishment. It's funny how different makeup looks on camera sometimes than how it looks in person. So that is pretty much everything that I have to say about that, or at least everything that I wrote in my notes the other day. If you have any specific questions about this or about anything else, feel free to leave them down in the comments. I will either make another video about it or just answer you directly there. I think I used YouTube and making videos as an example a lot in this video, but honestly, everything that I said relates the exact same way to writing and posting poems on Instagram. I think a lot of you guys often ask this question in reference to my poetry and like, how do I have the confidence to just share my poetry in an Instagram caption? And everything that I said about video making, it applies the exact same way for poetry. Usually, if it is something that I loved creating, which most of the things that I create are things that I loved creating, then I'll be excited to post it. So yeah, I think that that is everything that I have to say. I usually get these topics from the questions that you guys ask me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram if you want to send me a question next time I do one of those question thingy-mabobs, which I might do today because I'm in the mood to do that. I hope that you have a lovely day or night or afternoon, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, and I will see you in my next video. Or like the big tip that I could give. Sorry, I was kind of flashing my middle finger. I have almost 40 minutes of raw footage. Ew.